Hey, everybody. This is Kristen here with a new episode of Free Spirit Beading, and I am live on Tuesday. I had to postpone yesterday's video to today because we we had a really sad day. We had to say goodbye to one of our beloved doggies. That's also why you're not seeing my face because because I've been crying a lot, and especially yesterday, and I woke up this morning so swollen. My whole face was so super swollen. And yeah, super hard. Miss Honey was 15 years old. She just celebrated her 15th birthday last month, which is amazing. We got her when she was 5. So we've had her for 10 beautiful, beautiful years. And she was always such a smiley, sweet, happy dog. Just really really great. I mean, you guys all know. Pets are family for sure. And she just brought such a happiness and a joy into our home because no matter what was going on, she always knew to come comfort you. And she just was smiling all the time. You just would look over at her out of the blue, and she'd just be sitting there smiling away, and it just was so uplifting. And we are gonna miss her dearly. I still have another little pup, and she's kind of looking for her big sister a little bit today too. So it's been a really tough couple of days. She didn't feel well on Friday, and as the weekend progressed, she no longer could get up and move her legs. And then on Sunday, she just couldn't even walk at all. Even with assistance from us, she couldn't get around. So it was time. Yeah. Hi, Lynn. What happened? We had to say goodbye to our old dog, Honey. And that happened yesterday. And that was really hard. So that's why I wasn't here yesterday, and I postponed it till today. And that's also why I'm not talking to you face to face, because I am still crying a lot and still really puffy. And it just doesn't feel good to look at myself right now. So, oh my goodness. Poor baby. But I think I'll feel better once I bead with all of you. And I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do today. I might just look at beads. I don't know, and see what happens. I don't have high hopes for myself at the moment. But I'm happy to be here with all of you today. And this is a nice distraction, and beading and all creative pursuits have always been there for me through tough times, and are like, creative therapy. So I'm happy to be here doing that with all of you. Thank you for all of the love. I know you all understand. It's most of us have pets, or have had a pet in our lifetime, and know how hard it is when you come to this point. Yeah, love Miss Honey. You won't hear as many pitter patters in the background on my video because she was the one with the heavy steps that you would hear. Speaking of creative therapy, let me just share with you that we've got joyful beading going on right now this month. So it's National Craft Month. Hooray! Happy National Craft Month. We like to run our Joyful Beading Challenge in March for Craft Month. And what it is we've got creative prompts for you every day of the week, the weekday, Monday through Friday. And with those, we give out $10 daily prizes. And all you need to do to enter is just share your jewelry or design with the prompt and the hashtag Joyful Beading in our Softflex VIB Studio Facebook group. And you will be entered to win. And every design you create gets entered. You could do a picture with 3 designs and we will count it as 3, or you can upload, 3 separate photos, however you want to do it. We're doing it a little bit differently this time because we're picking the winners on Friday. So instead of picking a winner every day, just administratively, we find it's a little tough to do that every day. So we're just picking winners for the week on Fridays. On every Friday, we will post a few of the winners. I think we've got just a shorter timeline on Friday because of that, right? Thomas is here helping me out. So just remind me what we decided on that Friday prompt. What's today's prompt? Today is the 7th. Today is design using a bead soup or mixed beads. And actually, that's what I've got here with me today. So I didn't even mean to do that because this was supposed to be yesterday's video. So it kind of worked out just as it should. I think we're saying like 3 p.m. Pacific time on Friday. Is that correct? To get in on that prompt, Thomas? Yeah, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so that's the only day it's a little shorter. All the rest of the week, you can just post all the way up until midnight Pacific time. But just know that on Friday, we got to pick those winners. So it's a little bit shorter. Let's go back and see what we're working with. So I've got our Cozy Mountain Retreat bead mix and strand. Cozy Mountain Retreat was our Great Bead Extravaganza kit, and the bead mix and the strand were not included in that kit, but we brought them in as compliments. And I'm going to pick this up a little bit because it's looking really dark, but these are actually like a really nice mid-tone green. Let's see if I can get my light down a little bit. Such a pretty strand. And all of our strands, this is one of the strands that we collaborate with Jesse James Beads to create these for us. They're exclusive to Softflex Company, and all of our exclusive JJB strands are currently on sale. We've got a sale going on that is spend $49 or more and add any bead strand like this from Jesse James Beads or bead mix, either or, add them to your cart and then use the coupon code JJB to get $10 off your order. So essentially, you're almost getting a free strand and beads because these are about $11. We even have a couple of mixes that are on sale that are included in this sale too, that are a little bit less. Maybe they're about $10. So you're getting the strand or the mix essentially free. You do have to put in that coupon code JJB. It's good until the end of the day today, which is March 7th. Excuse me. It'll end at midnight Pacific time tonight. Let me get a sip of my coffee. Oh, isn't that pretty? This is super pretty. I love this color too. It's like a really kind of a gray green, like a sage green, but maybe even a little bit on the more neutral side. Oh, it's gorgeous. And it's got all of those little crystals inlaid in there and this beautiful little border, this gold color. And this is a beauty. I love purple and green together. Look at that. That's a gorgeous bead. I really, really like this bead. And this is giving me like opal vibes, the way that that shimmers and changes in the light. Let's see what else we got on here. We've got a few gold and also some copper spacers. This is a beautiful spacer. It's also a really large hole spacer, which is really, really nice. These are always pretty. You've got a lovely crystal right there. An awesome pave bead. Really super sparkly. And then I love this bead, this green bead with some really pretty copper bead caps. We've got a little rhinestone spacer on either side. And then the same things over here. So gorgeous strand. I don't remember how many we have left of these. I feel like it's 10 or less. I will say most of the bead mixes in that are for sale are almost out the door. So they're probably 10 or less on most of them. So that's the Cozy Mountain Retreat strand. This is the Cozy Mountain Retreat mix. I'm going to open this up so that we could take a closer look at that. And then these are from our 4mm fire polish collection. You can get these in a bundle, like a bundle of, gosh, I don't know how many are in that bundle. I want to say like 15, and you get 30% off if you get the whole bundle, or you can buy them individually. And I grabbed three colors that I thought would go nicely. This is like a chocolate brown. This one is a dark green with a bit of a flash on there. And then this one is a light green, but like two-tone with copper. So I pulled those out as a good match to these mixes. And now let's take a look at these. I'm just going to dump them out on the side here so I don't lose them. I like this little board, but it can be a little slippery. And then let's go and look at these beads in this mix one by one. These are cool. I love this shape. It's like an elongated oval, and they are copper. They're not copper metal beads. They feel like glass beads, and they've got like a copper coating on them. So you get two of those in the mix. You get these two dark amber brown freeform nuggets. These are lovely. I actually haven't designed with cones in a while. Look at those beautiful cones. They're an antique copper color. You get 4 of those. You got this beautiful milky white drops. Get 4 of these. Oh, the green reminds you of pine trees. Yes, I love this theme, Cozy Mountain Retreat. It was, I thought this was really a fun theme. And of course, these colors are right up my alley. So that's why I loved it so. Coppers and greens. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So this one's lovely. It's like a very soft, a soft brown, but it's got a nice flash on there. You get 4 of those. Let's pull out some of the greens in the mix. You get 8 of these super metallic, sparkly beads. And they're kind of a cone shape. Those match my nails really well. Hi, Lori. Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Happy Free Spirit Beading on a Tuesday. I'm glad I was able to postpone because sometimes we have things going on Tuesday where I can't get on video, but it worked out okay for me this week. You've got these really pretty pearl. They're like a seafoam green pearl, glass pearl, and lots of those. 12 of them, it looks like. So you get a dozen of those. I think those add such a pretty element to those rich, deeper colors, don't they? Excuse me. I have a little bit of a drip going on from all of my tears. Oh man, so hard. Two silver pave beads. So these have like a white snowy background with silver crystals in there. Just like this one, but this one has the gold background. That's in the strand. And then we've got these sweet little beads. Look how pretty those are. They're clear, but they have that rainbow finish on them. And they're just like a little squished triangle. I mean, not triangle, square. I don't know why I was saying triangle. Squished square. So they have a little bit more of an organic shape and a little bit of like a squished twist feel to them. And a couple of little snowflakes. So you got 4 little snowflake beads. Add that little winter element to the Cozy Mountain Retreat. Let's see, we've got a bunch of spacer beads. Check out these in copper. I think I have something stuck in this one. Let me see. Just a little pine needle. And oh, there's another one. So I was missing one too. 6 of these. Those are pretty little spacers. There's a lot jam-packed in this mix. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bead caps with this lovely rope design on them. And those are copper, like an antique copper as well. And oh, these are so sweet. Look at these little pine cone charms. Those would be great for those pine needle green beads. We've got a couple more green and like that milky green two-tone drops. And it's like the mix just keeps on going. Look at these little disco balls. These are so faceted. Really pretty. So grab this mix, add it to your cart, $49 or more, and then use the coupon JJB and get $10 off your order through the end of the day today. These are like a little smoky, clear smoky bead. A handful of silver spacers. Gotta love the staying alive beads. Gotta love those disco balls. These are so pretty. I love these little charms. Let's see. I don't know if you're seeing the. Let's see if I can get the pattern on there. There we go. Look how beautiful that is. I love that little charm. I'm going to leave the little charms out for a second. The pine cones and those. And then these are super cool. You get all three of these in the mix. So you get two smaller ones. They are silver tone and one larger one, like a pendant. So pretty. I love those. Now I got to figure out what I want to do. What do we want to do? These are all of the little charms that I pulled out. So you get all of that, all of these in that Cozy Mountain Retreat mix, and all of these charms were in that too. These were separate, and these were separate. Ooh la la. Now what are we gonna make? What are we gonna make? I've got some craft wire at my table, and I've got some. I thought this was really pretty. The fluorite beading wire was really pretty with this set. And then I pulled out some last bits. You ever have like you're at the end of your spool on things, and so I pulled out a green and a vintage bronze craft wire, and also a bare copper. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. These would be really pretty for making a multi-strand design, either with earrings or a necklace or a bracelet, because you just string them all through the cone and then crimp them on the end. I like that idea. Maybe I'll save those. Oh, that would be kind of cute, mixing the metals and doing the little mountain with the pine cone. And then I can keep two more pine cones for possibly a multi-strand necklace. These would make great spacer beads because they are kind of a dark brown like a copper, but we also got a lot of cool spacer beads in the mix. Let me pull these out. See, I was thinking I was going to do craft wire, but now because of these cones, I've totally changed my mind. If I use the fluorite, look at how lovely these match the fluorite. So I think I got to bring those in. I'll just put them off to the side because they're rolling away. Bring those in. For for sure. Is there anything on here? Let's bring a few things into my hand and let me see. I think those would be nice. Since this is silver, I might want to add a little bit of these spacers to bring in the mixed metal, the silver. Maybe those drops. Hope says the fluorite is my new favorite color. It's so pretty. And it can go like, it's a soft green, but it could kind of go a little towards the gray side at times. And it can go, depending what you pair it with. Oh, it's beautiful with copper. Amanda says yes to mixing metals. So fun. I wonder if these little bead caps will fit on here or on here. It might be too big for the pearls, but maybe they'll fit those. I guess adding the, you know what, they'd probably fit the little disco balls well too. Should I add some of the disco balls just to get that kind of silveryness in there? All right. Ideas are coming. Which strand do I want to use? Oh, I think the dark green. Or, because even though that's kind of got a fluorite color, it's almost feeling a little more peridot to me. Either the brown, I think the dark green, personally, because I feel like we've got a lot of the copper to really take over the brown. I think the dark green is a nice complement from these little strands. Yes to the disco balls. Add a little sparkle. And I think I'll bring these in too, these little gray ones. See, now these, I feel like those go really well with that because they add that darker. I think I'm going to keep them out of this design. Add all the bead caps in because we got so many. All right. Now what? Now let's get some wire. So I'm using Soft Flex medium diameter fluorite color 0.019. And I think I'm going to do a necklace since I've got this guy here that I might put as a pendant. And I know I'm going to do multi-strand because I've got these beautiful cones to work with. Should I start on the spool? And then these might be cute little earrings to go with it. Maybe I'll take out one of these since we have a lot of these pearls and add that off to the side to go in the earring possibly. I might use these and these. Oh, I'm feeling more relaxed than I was before before we started. Is there anything on here that I should take off? I don't want to go too big with all of these little beads. But this one could be a fun addition. Or maybe save these for something else. I love those purple and green ones. Okay, I'm going to get started with the little 4mm beads. They'll probably go up into my cone. So if I was to do a multi-strand design, it's sometimes fun to do one that's just all one bead type, or you could just mix them all up. And if you have a bead soup in your stash, which I'm sure all of you do, right? I have little dishes like this around that I just throw little orphan beads in, beads that were left over from one project, and that's a bead soup. Or you can get a curated mix like we've got here. We're working with a mix that was exclusively put together in the beautiful colorway. Let me see how this cap looks on this bead. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. Maybe I'll do the fluorite pearl and then bead cap with this guy. And now I'm just going to string and see what happens. See what my hand picks up each time. This reminds me of my wedding colors. Actually, my bridesmaid dresses wore a super green dress. Of course, it was like a two-tone. I wouldn't say It was between an emerald and a sage. It was like a dark green between the two. And then it was that, I think it's called taffeta material. So it was kind of got a shimmer to it. And I made my bridesmaids jewelry that were like this dark green color. Of course, right? Of course. Of course they were green. Pretty colors for a wedding. Yeah, thank you. It was a fall wedding, so it's September. And I was way into reading the Martha Stewart wedding. Oh, I forgot about these. Oh, I want to put that in there. Maybe before this. The Martha Stewart wedding book. And one of the things that suggestions she had for what are they called? The little name placeholders was apples, green apples. And I was like, oh, we're doing that. And so the night before the wedding, I had all of my family and stuff sticking everyone's name into with a little pin into the green apples. My mom was like, what are we going to do? What are you talking about? It was so pretty though. It was really pretty. I had like a tall, the flowers were in like a very tall gardeny kind of wrought iron looking thing. So it was like lifted above the table. And then there were green apples on everyone's plate for all of the place settings. And it was like, it looked so pretty. I was like, it's my wedding. You have to do it. This is what I want. You have to. Like, oh boy, what's Kristen got us into now? Make it crafty. Gotta have do-it-yourself items. Oh, it's coming out pretty regal looking, isn't it? Look at that cute little pine cone. So what do I want to put here? That feel like the center. I got to put this on a little jump ring or something. Let me go grab one of those. These are cool. I don't know if they're, no, probably not. I've got some fun twisted jump rings. I don't know if they're open or closed. They're closed. Here's an open one. Did I cut that though? Talking to myself. All right, I'll just find another one. Ooh, my wedding colors were coral and royal blue. Oh, that's beautiful. Can I guess the decade? Coral and royal blue. Would that have been the 90s? The 80s? I don't know. I feel like that could be beautiful anytime. I love that you shared that. Hey, anyone else want to share what their colors were? What were your colors for your wedding? That's kind of a fun, it's kind of a fun thing to talk about. You know, sometimes things change and your color sensibilities change and all that stuff, but surprise, surprise, I was still greens and browns and and all of those tones. And that's really why I wanted a fall wedding too, because I just love all of those fall colors. The 80s, royal blue and coral. I love it. Amanda says blue and silver. Ooh, how classic. Lovely. Constance, my colors were baby blue with yellow. Oh, that's really sweet. Pastel color. Pops of yellow. Oh, I love little pops of yellow in everything. Like, I feel like yellow, little pops of yellow can go with like every single color combination. Jody says pastels, pink, blue, and yellow. Would never do that today. Did you have your bridesmaids in different colors? Because I know that was like a thing for a little while too. Everyone was in different colors. Mine were all in the same. I didn't have that many. How many did I have? I had 4. Yeah. I had 4. Including my 2 sisters. Speaking of, I actually just talked to my maid of honor, who I haven't spoken to in years. I just talked to her this weekend. Lynn says light pink in December. Oh, you rebel. That sounds pretty though. Light pink and like white. Like I just picture like snowy white. December with light pink would be so pretty. Oh, Constance says my bridal bouquet was yellow roses. I had my bridal bouquet roses were, I found this really pretty antique rose. So it was like a cream with a little bit of brownish, like a reddish brown tone on the top of the petals. It was like it was so pretty. I was kind of not a big rose fan at that time in my life. I love roses now. And so I was like, ugh, I don't want roses. I don't want roses. And then when I went to the florist and she was showing me some options, I was like, oh, that antique rose I can totally get behind. And so that's how I ended up with that, finding that one. Jody says, yes, different colors, and they carried little umbrellas, although I was married in the 80s. That's adorable. That is so adorable. Now, did they carry umbrellas like parasols, like they were like fancy little umbrellas, or did you just make really cute umbrellas because it was known to rain where you were going to be and you just wanted them to have like a cute way of using an umbrella? Or was it just because you were like, hey, I just want umbrellas? I wanted fairy wings, and I had asked a friend to make me some fairy wings, and she worked real hard on making me some fairy wings, but it just didn't turn out to be it just didn't turn out to make sense in the at the end of the day. And I so so those did not that did not happen, but I was trying to go for like a little bit of like a fall fairy. Yes, parasols, fancy back then. So cool. So, so cool. Well, here, maybe I'll stop there for this part. I'm thinking there'll be a cone here, and I might just let the fluorite wire kind of show on the other side of the cone. But I am also thinking about putting another, at least one strand. Let's see. What time is it? Well, we've got a few minutes. Because if I do another strand, I think that would look really pretty. With some of these spacers, I could put in maybe one of these charms. Oh, I was thinking everything else that could dangle. Maybe I was thinking about like this, but then it feels like it needs something in the center. What if I found like a bigger bead? I don't know about that one. Talking out loud to myself. I kind of like that big green one though. I do have some more of those shiny beads. That one, the little disco ball, might be kind of nice in the center. Or I have two more I can kind of just put off to the side. Yeah, that's probably better. I need something in the middle. Something in the middle. Amanda's saying yes. What are you saying yes to, Amanda? The big green would look good. Is that the one you were talking about, Amanda? I do think the big green would look good too, because it's got these really pretty. Talking aloud works great. Ooh, yeah, I do think I like that. I do think I like that. What else do we have left here? I've got a couple of those in here. And I don't have any more of those, but I have these. So let's not forget these. All right, Amanda likes the big green. I like the big green. Marisol, I think, likes the big green. Let's put another bead stopper on there. I just snipped that off my spool, and we'll work on the second strand. I'm going to start with the big green. So I'll start with the middle. and keep these little bead caps. So pretty. Maybe I'll do the disco balls next to it and then graduate up from there. Okay. I think maybe I want to do the pearl bead. It's always nice when you get one side done and then you can like not have to think so much on the other side. And then that seems like it's falling in line, kind of nice. Right? So I used 2. I've got 2 left and then a green one, so I can't touch those anymore. I think maybe the rest up might just be these itty bitty ones. Sort of the pinch and string method. Take a few off. Take a few off your strand. There's 4. And then if I'm lucky, I can slide right through them. I love when that works. Let's untake that. Push this through here. And give us an idea of how that side is looking. I like it. I like it. I like it. Leave the other side a little bit longer. And let's see if I can do, if I have enough, all of the right beads to do the same thing on the other side. This is where I sometimes lose my count. Oh, and let's put my charm on the right way. These were such a little surprise, these little pine cone and these little kind of mandala charms. I didn't see those in the bag. I didn't know those were in there. Oh, can't lose a bead. We have exact counts going on here. No dropping beads allowed. So I think Sarah is going live tomorrow with the Viva Magenta. I know that they were shipping them out. I don't know if they've shipped them all yet, but I'm guessing that they've shipped most, if not all, by now. She's going to be doing the unboxing and the reveal of the Viva Magenta Tucson Finds box with you all tomorrow here on Softlex Company's Facebook page and YouTube channel at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I'm looking forward to that because I haven't seen all of the stuff that's in there. And I'm also looking forward to see what Sarah makes with it. Hi, Sherry. I'm glad you got to join. You're a little bit late, but that's okay. Fun. Okay, so now I didn't count these little beads here, so I'll just take them out of the cone and look at them by eye and see how I'm doing. Just going to center all of my beads in my strand, and holy moly, I think they're the same. First fry? I can't believe that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, there's 12 on each side without me even counting. Wow. I'm sure that never normally would happen. That was just sort of, let's see about this one. Let's see what happened with this one. Sherry says, this is really pretty. Thank you. Nope, not the same on this one. And actually, am I missing any beads in here? Okay, no, those are lining up okay. Now we just have a little bit of a difference here. Take 2 off and switch it to this side. And then we'll be even. Even Steven. Right? I was like, I couldn't have had that happen if I tried. So we've got a 2-strand necklace going on, and what I'll do here is I'm going to crimp these 2 together, and then I can slide the cone on top of my crimp. Let's see. I've got some copper. And then I might want to put a bead on top of the cone. Do I want to do, maybe this bead would be nice on top of the cone. That's from the strand. That might work. It's either that or I could pull out one of these, but I feel like Let's take a look before I decide. That's what that one would look like. Or I can take one of these small ones. I think I like that better. And I could crimp up here too. So you can either crimp underneath your cone or you can crimp up here if you want there to be like a little copper at the end. Amanda says super cute with the bead. Do you like this one though? I feel like the color feels a little bit off with the rest of it. If I should just stick with the little green one. And do I want to crimp? I think I'll crimp under. So I took a green one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I took a green one on off the outside. The only copper beads, let's see, I've got is this from the strand, but it's got a really large hole. So it would kind of sit on top and be a little bit weird. Let me see if I got anything else close by that might work. I have a small antique brass. From another mix. I also have that one from another mix. Or I could just look in my metal beads section. I know the big one I think would be better on something thicker. It would make a lot more sense. What do I got in here? Do I have anything? Oh, these are pretty. That's like a whole different thing though. That might be too much. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, copper, copper, copper. Ah, these are cute. I've got some cute little copper. You guys remember when we had this strand? Like little spacer beads. I think those might work on top of the green. So I'll do cone and then green and then that little copper. All right, let's give that a try since that's what I've got here. Now this part's going to get put inside my cone. Move those out of the way. And I'm just going to put the cone on one more time. Make sure I'm happy with how that's going to look. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. And then you can go ahead and use your crimping pliers. I'll use my magical since they're right here and I use them all the time, but you don't really need that finished little ball. You can use any crimping pliers because you're not gonna see it. And then I'm gonna trim off the shorter wire. Ravioli time. Place my cone down. Add one of the little green beads. Add one of the little copper beads. Like so. And then if you want, you could add another crimp or you can kind of let it free flow. I'm going to leave it for right now. I don't know. Maybe I want to. I have quite a few of these copper beads left. Once you start adding too many, then it's like, oh, do you just keep going? It's almost like you have to just do one or two. And decide to leave the wire or go all the way. Right? Oh, it's like a mountain bohemian piece. Yes. You know what would be really pretty, and I might have to do this after, is taking some of my little leftover copper or maybe even little green seed beads or something and bead up around here or through here just to kind of bring in some color. I don't know. Let me see what it looks like if I add another crimp. What do we think on 3 beads above the cone? And then I'll crimp it and you'll have like a little copper finish. Bright copper, I should say. Copper finish up the top. I sometimes feel like love the green bead on the cap. So instead, maybe just do the green bead. I don't know. I sometimes feel like I just need one bead. Like just one to be like, you're done. This is the hard part. Making those final decisions, right? Doesn't it feel like just the one is just like, you're done? Lynn says, I'm so proud. I've been practicing with my magical crimp tool. They turn out really good thanks to watching you and Sarah. Oh, that makes me so happy. I really do love that tool. And I know it can be a little bit of a pain to work out sometimes. But once you get it and it's like this beautiful little crimp, oh, I just love it. I feel like it's just so worth it. All right, I went back to my original idea of just one green bead at the top of the cone. And then you've got that little crimp there, which is really like not super necessary because I'm sure the gravity will keep that bead in place. But it adds that bright copper little exclamation point. Okay, and now I got to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to crimp the two together. Now this part shouldn't take as long because we fussed over the decision on the other side. That pearl bead, I'm going to have to find that for the earring after the video. It ran away. Ooh. All right, so when I go to crimp this side, you want to make sure you're not crimping it too tight and that you give it room to move around. I like to just, let's move that, put it in a little circular shape so that you've got your wiggle room figured out. And you can go ahead and crimp. I'm going to cut the shorter of my two because I have one strand that was long and one strand that was short. Put your cone on top. Add my little green bead, and then I need to get my last crimp for this size. On the back end, I will have to add a clasp. But I will do that. I will do that later because I don't know what size, what length I want to make this at the moment. So I add the crimp and then I add this little piece of wire that I had trimmed off from my shorter strand. I'm going to add that in through the crimp. If you can fit it back through your other bead, you can also try and do that. I don't know if it'll fit through the 4mm again. 2 strands might be asking a little bit too much. So if not, it's totally okay to not go back through that bead and just bring your crimp down. Ravioli time, give it a good squeeze. It'll pinch all 4 corners of that crimp to look like a ravioli. Then I turn it 90 degrees, place it back in the notch, nice and centered, and then I rotate it. It's like in the little pocket, in the little rounder pocket, and I rotate it and squeeze to get it nice and even and secure. And then you can go and trim off those edges of your wire. So on the back end, I've got this beautiful fluorite color that I will add my clasp when I decide how long I want it to be. And I'll just let that show. Super fun and bohemian. Oh, that turned out really nice, you guys. Thank you for your help. I think adding, like, maybe if I find a little bit of green in that color, I could add it around my pendant even. I'm going to look through my seed bead stash and see if I want to add anything to here. And then I've got the little guys left over for earrings with the little pine cones and those. I have 2 of those pearl beads that both rolled away. So I have to go find those. Can I lift it again? I sure can. So we'll start here. I'm trying to get my little charms to play nice. Okay. And I'll take a picture of this. I'll post it in the VIB studio group on Facebook. And I also will put it in a blog. We always do a blog as well for Free Spirit Beading. So you can see the final picture and take a look at the pattern a little more up close that way. The blog is at softflexcompany.com. If you get our emails, you'll get it in the a link to the blog in the Saturday email. Or you can also check out the Friday recap. And we share those on social media and stuff too, thanks to Thomas. Whew. Well, thank you all for joining me today. It's, I know I need to put a bust to put it on, but then I have to show you my face. Let's see. I've got the big bust back here. Let me see. I'll flip you up and put the bust in front of my face. I'm just going to use a bead stopper on the back to cinch it closed so that it'll hang on the bust. And I'll still work out how I want. So we've got my light in the way. Let's pick that up. We'll cover my eyes. I need one of those cucumber cucumber slices. Kind of spin it so you can see. Yeah, it turned out fun. I think my only thing I would change now that I see it on a bust is I'd probably move these little charms closer so that they don't get lost. But you know what? If I make the necklace, if I pull the necklace up and make it shorter, let's see, that way, then they get shown. So that would probably change how I will finish the backside, is pull it up a little shorter and then you can see those little charms. But if you wanted it to lay longer, the placement of those little charms gets lost. So just a little design thing to think about. It was a lot easier to see it that way though than it is to see it on the beading table, I think, especially when you're doing multiple strands. See what I mean? So these charms here, if you want it to lay longer, I would probably move these to about there. And that would have been a better spot on the longer. But I'm going to end up probably making it a little shorter because of that so that you could see them. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. We used the Cozy Mountain Retreat Bead Mix and Bead Strand. And if you add one of those to your cart and use the coupon JJB, you will get $10 off your order of $49 or more at softflexcompany.com. And that is good until the end of the day today, March 7th at midnight Pacific time. You can add any of our JJB bead mixes, which we still have a few left. We have Chocolate Kiss, we have Wonderland, we have Make a Wish, we have, and a lot of them have just a couple. So I would say 10 or under is what's left in those. 2 Pantone strands just came back into inventory today. And I think the Wonderland bead mix just came back into inventory today. So we had a couple that that they found and they loaded back up. So if you were looking for it and it was sold out, there are just a couple more back online for you. Join us tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time to see Sarah unbox the Tucson Goodie Surprise Collection with Viva, featuring Viva Magenta. And I will see you again next week. I will be live on Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific time for all of my Arizona friends. I think the time changes for us. So right now we're at 2 p.m. Mountain time, but for Arizona, we should be 1 p.m. Pacific time with everyone else. I think next Monday. Is it Sunday maybe that the time changes? I feel like it's next week. But just to be aware of that for anyone that is in one of the states like Arizona that does not change their clocks. It may be different for you. All right. Lots of love to you all. March 12th, daylight saving time start. Yes. Oh, you just placed your first order. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We so appreciate you and every one of you that are on here and all of our orders. We couldn't do this without all of your support. And so thanks so much for joining us. And I hope you just love it. I know you will. I know you will. Okay. Thanks for joining me today and making me feel better, lifting me up on such a hard week here. And, hopefully I can show my face next week. Beading is good therapy. It is. Get your bead soups out and make something fun and post it into our Softlex VIB Studio Facebook group and be entered to win $10 store credit. Super fun. 5 winners a week. So look forward to seeing what you all make, and I will see you back on Monday. Bye, everybody.